Hello again, it's Andreas again. Today in this video I would like to talk about the visa appeal. So the appeal against the decision of the Department of Home Affairs, most likely a negative one, otherwise you wouldn't appeal it. So what to do when you receive a rejection. So you have applied for a visa and it gets rejected, right? So one of the options is to submit an appeal, and I would like to explain how this works and how do you draft an appeal and what to look out for. Okay, so number one is you need to be aware there's a time frame, a very important time frame, and that's 10 working days. So you have 10 working days, not calendar days, after receiving the letter of rejection to submit the appeal. If you are in South Africa, you need to submit it at the VFS office. Therefore, you need to book an appointment rather urgently because that's usually a limiting factor. If you submit it overseas, then you can appeal overseas at the South African mission. Okay? Then important is that as part of the appeal, you obviously need to look at the rejection reason. And in practice, the Department of Home Affairs very, very seldomly writes rejection letters which are actually legally compliant or correct. They often make general statements. They often do not really aim at your application. They often have nonsensical rejection reasons, like I tried to phone your employer once, he didn't pick up to confirm employment, or I phoned the doctor and the doctor didn't pick up. Now these are not valid rejection reasons for your visa, okay? So you need to watch that rejection letter. And then you use that reason in the appeal to obviously state your fact and potentially also re-emphasize that you actually qualify for the visa in a short summary. Of course, we are happy to assist you with these letters, and they're quite important that they're worded correctly. You also then obviously attach the proof of the whole application and a couple of documents to make it a sound, solid application so they can adjudicate and see if the first application or decision from Home Affairs was actually wrong. Okay. The bad news is that the appeal takes currently 4 to 5 months to process. I personally think this is way too long. I mean, it's a legal remedy and you're practically closing that path for a lot of applicants if your appeal takes 5 months, right? So that's the appeal you submit in terms of section 8.4. Okay, why is this important? The VFS website will ask you which appeal you will submit, and there's actually two. The first one is the section 8.4, which goes to the Director General. Okay, so that's the first appeal. If that one comes back negatively, so the appeal will not be upheld, so you lose your appeal, to make it simple, then you can appeal that decision. Okay, so there's two appeals basically, and that goes then to the minister. You again have 10 working days time to appeal the decision from the DG, and that then goes to the minister's office. And I have to say that at least in the last one, there's a very competent team sitting, and a lot of nonsensical applications which were initially rejected and then potentially even the appeal was rejected, then suddenly changes. So sometimes it makes sense to go all the way. Unfortunately, it takes a long, long time. Now you might ask me, or some clients ask me then, yeah, but why can't I go directly to court? Well, you can do that, but there is a principle in law that the court, because it's adjudicative, doesn't want to replace their judgment with potentially an executive, decision of the executive. Meaning, usually they ask you to first follow all potential remedies within the Immigration Act, for instance, until the final appeal decision of the minister is still negatively affecting, and then you can go to court, but not before. So that's really important. So usually you really have to follow these two steps of two appeals. Okay, so that's really it to the appeals. So not good news. I think practically there will be a lot of appeals coming your way or our way. Because we see a very high rejection rate when taping this video here in November 2022. But if you have questions, please contact us. We're ready and here to help. And then please recommend us. Bye-bye.